Hello and welcome back to another Good Game Nation video where we bring you all things TCG. My name is Sam and I'm here bringing you news today. Yes, the news. Mostly it's going to be cards. There wasn't very too much on the event side, but there was a lot of interesting cards, a lot of cards we're going to have a lot of fun talking about, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, the first card is going to be another addition to the blue Animal Kingdom Pirates. It is the 3-drop Black Maria, 3k power. Activate main 2. You may rest this card and draw one card. Trigger play this character with 1,000 counter. I think the first thing is the blue Burple Kaido is just very excited for all these new cards. That leader didn't get a lot of love during the set or after the set or now. It's very rogue at best. But all these new additions makes that deck a little more exciting. The more and more we get, there could be a world where that deck maybe comes back. This card specifically, I don't know if it's inherently an always add. On curve, it's a little expensive. I don't know if you want to spend 2 to draw a card on your second or third turn, so it's an end game card. I think Nami maybe likes this card a little bit because it'll act as a blocker as well. They're not going to want to let you keep having this, so they're going to swing into it. But I don't know if this is a amazing card for the rest of the blue meta, but an interesting card for a couple decks, I think. Let's see. The next card is a promo Luffy. Cute little art. It's a 2-drop 4k. If you have 2 or more rested characters, the character gains 1,000 power. I think the film package maybe likes this guy a little bit. I think there's a potential there. They have a lot of bodies on the board typically, so they think this might fit in nicely. I think it's the fact that it's missing combo power though is a big drawback for this card, for me at least. I think that deck has a couple cards that already don't have combo power. And even in other decks, I think that might be its biggest flaw. That's one of the green's biggest advantages. Is all of their cards have combo power. So it's a little weird, a little out of place, I think, but an interesting card though. I think there is again situationals like the other two where they can be played. And then the really exciting part of the video, probably on the thumbnail, we have a new leader. We have first peek at Aisho. He is black and green. He is Navy for life. Dawn ×1, your turn, give -1 to all of your opponent's characters. End of turn 1, set up to one of your characters with a cost of 5 or less as active. Wow. That's a really cool leader. First thing you notice, he's universal. There's no Navy or anything attached to it, any of these. I guess the -1 characteristic for now is attached to the Navy, but maybe like Ramp for purple, we'll keep seeing the -1 effect trail across black, so this effect will stay universal. But nonetheless, this works with all of the black cards right now. An end of turn set of 5 or less active. That's a really good effect. You could be really aggressive with your blockers. You can use it to protect really important pieces. Maybe like the Namis. Like I'm thinking like the film pack is the first thing you could run. You could restand your Namis after attacking so you can keep using your searches. Your Borsalinos, just swing with them and then they're back to their blocker self afterwards. Yeah, there's the Garp as well. The Garp that says you rest this character and then kill something. You can use this to restand it to protect it. There's a lot of little things and plays we could run with this Aisho just off the top. In the comments, let us know what other stuff you're thinking about. This guy has a lot of potential. 2 really good colors as well, so this might be something looking forward. And then the second and last leader for the set 4 is Queen. Blue-Yellow Queen. Queen has an interesting effect. Dawn ×1 when attacking. If the total number of cards in your life and your hand is 4 or less, draw 1 card. If you have a character that costs 8 or more, you may place one top card to your life instead of drawing it. The second part of the effect, I think there's only 2 cards that currently work with this. I think it's just Mihawk and the Katakuri. You can't play any of the big moms. So I guess you could, but they wouldn't have effects. So there's only 2 cards for that last part right now. So that's really interesting. Those are cards you'd probably end up playing anyway. So I guess that works. And if you have 4 or less, you draw. So you have to have this effect in the first place. This is really not too hard to manipulate. You're already a 4 life leader. So as soon as you get down to 2 life and you can start working your hand a little bit, you can start using this effect. This is a really good later game effect as well if the game has gone really long. This is a good leader effect. Nothing inherently, the word universal for the last leader. You could still probably play this any archetype. It looks like it benefits more from the life getting archetype, but I can't think of any huge blue-yellow synergy off the top either. Obviously yellow's only had 1 set and we're still haven't seen very much of it from this set, so that could be seen. But blue archetypes are very isolated. It's the Nami archetype and then the Avank and then the Dofi, who heavily rely on their leader effects. On the cards themselves, there isn't a ton of synergy here for the 2 leaders. The Avank into Luffy combo is probably the best thing still. Which is a good leader effect, or it's a good combo still. But I don't know if there's any synergy yet for these 2 colors. But yet again, yellow's still getting a second set here. That really boosted black's stock when that set came out for it. They're one of the top colors now, so this could happen for yellow. They had a lot of good cards in the first set. Let's see if it continues. Very excited to see all these dual color leaders. No monocolors, except from the theme decks, it looks like. In the comments, is this what we like? Do we only want dual color leaders? I think that makes the game more interesting, especially once we have all the colors connected. There's still a couple connections that haven't happened, but it's getting interesting. Then we have this wonderful Crocodile art. He is a he always prints well, I think. I don't know if there is one bad one, I guess, but this card is really interesting. 8-drop 9K or Crocodile Sea War of the Sea. Goodness gracious. The 7 Warlord of the Sea Barrack Works. On play, Dawn -2. If your leader type includes Barrack Works, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck onto your life. On your opponent's attack, once per turn, Dawn -1. Draw 1 card and trash 1 card in your hand. Oh wow. Again, the dual color leaders from set 1 must be so interested in all these cards. The blue purple Crocodile has another really interesting card it can play. It's a lot of Dawn minusing, but this effect is so strong. A lot of sustainability to make the game last longer. The problem was blue purple Crocodile wasn't lasting long enough. The meta currently is too fast for it, and then it gets faster and stronger in the set 3 as well. So the deck has really disappeared. I don't know if this is enough to really bolster it back, but this is only one of the first cards we've seen from this archetype. But this is a really interesting way to go. Life gain from purple. Wow. That's something always to watch. That's a scary archetype and can do a lot of damage. But that is also a super rare, so hopefully we get a nice alt art for that too. Exciting cards. Oh, and we have more Barrack Works. We have Miss Valentin on play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 of the Barrack Works in it and add it to your hand. Place the rating at the bottom in any order. Trigger Dawn -1. Play this card. Wow. That's a really cool, really strong searcher. And I kind of want to walk back what I said a minute ago. This deck is getting really interesting now. Now they have a searcher. They have a lot of good cards in that blue set. We'll have to revisit them. Maybe in a separate video while we go over all the cards for the blue purple Crocodile, blue purple Kaido. That'll probably be a fun video. Yeah, the searcher for this, they have a lot of good event cards as well. Yeah, this could be a really interesting deck. This blue purple Crocodile, or even the purple yellow. We haven't seen very much of the yellow set. We don't really know what direction that's going to go. But this is This is a really cool archetype they're bringing back. We were hoping for support for them in the adjacent set, but we're getting it further sets down, so hopefully other archetypes that were abandoned will get revisited. Very, very, very cool. Very happy about that. Alright, the next card is this, they don't really show vanillas a lot, but we have I like the art. Dressrosa Law is a flex, but he is here in the set. Hopefully we have another one with an effect, maybe. He was kind of important for that arc, I thought. But at least he's here, he didn't get abandoned. 5-drop, 7k Law. He's Dressrosa Heart Pirates. I don't know if there's a lot of synergy here for that yet, but we have Law. And then we have a third target for this queen now. We have a 9-drop, 9k Yamato. This is another super rare. We're seeing them quite early this set. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost that is equal to or less than the total life of you and your opponent. Then if you have one or less life, you may add up to one card from the top of your deck to your life area. Wow, so it's a life gain, up to that. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total life. 9-drop, it's probably killing a 2-drop or a 1-drop at best. The KO effect is kind of weak. I guess if you're manipulating your life and you just have a ton of life gain, but none of that life gain is really until the end of the game. So you've maybe gained 1 at best, so maybe you're killing a 4-drop. It's really situational, that kill, so I don't know if that's worth relying on. The black and yellow Big Mom is able to reduce the character cost as well. So maybe this card fits really well with that deck. Maybe you run this with Aisho or Kuzan or something, and then you're able to kill a lot of things. But they already run a lot of large drops anyway. I don't know if there's room for something like this. I think Katakuri is still a better card. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's a really universal yellow drop as well, and it gives Queen another target as well for his effect. So it's worth paying attention to. I think it might have more value than the Mihawk in that deck, because it's a life gain, and that's huge for that leader. Yeah, interesting SR, interesting card. Cool. And the card that released 5 hours ago is another blue Animal Kingdoms Pirate. It is a 2k. It is Sasuke. 3-drop, 4k strike. On play, return all cards in your hand to your deck and shuffle your deck. Then draw the same amount of cards returned to the deck. So if you send 4, you draw 4. I think the fact alone that it's a 2k means it's probably going to get played. It is a really cool option card. It might switch over. Maybe you play the Mihawk. Maybe you play this. But for standard blue decks that are just running a couple cards for 2Ks, I think this is a really good option. I don't know if this really necessarily really hugely benefits the blue purple Kaido or the blue yellow Queen. I don't know if they're really like, wow, this card is perfect for the deck. But there are 2K options. I think this card is a strong selection. It helps you flesh out those bad hands. If you're playing Queen, it incites you to play a lot of larger drops. You could run into hands where you're starting to only draw those. So maybe this card will help in those certain situations. But a recycle that's a 2K is pretty good, I think. I could see this card being played. Yeah. And that would do it for the cards. 2 new leaders, 2 really interesting leaders. The Ice Show specifically. Those are 2 very strong lore-wise colors. Green was very strong set 1 and 2, and black is good right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what people start creating with that. Same with the Queen. The blue-purple Kaidos and Crocs are very interesting as well. So let us know in the comments which cards are starting to really heat up the meta. Or can we see a Barrack come back? What other cards did I not talk about enough? Did I miss something? Let me know, guys. Let me know down in the comments. And if you made it this far, please consider doing all the YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Man, can't believe Gojo's back in my lifetime. Thought it would never happen. That's crazy.